Nobody is hanging onto this wall, tent walls. Nobody is hanging by ceiling here. It is not possible. But in space, it is possible. But your mind doesn't know that. आपको पता नहीं है आप जब जाते हैं तो आप किसी भी चीज को निकाल के ऐसे ही छोड़ सकते हैं. Even here, how many of you felt when I was leaving it कि अरे ये तो गिर जाएगा?
आजच्या दिवसाची खास बात ही आहे की आज आहे इंडियाज दी बिगेस्ट सायन्स फेस्टिवल, जे की लकीली ह्या वर्षी पुण्यामध्येच कंडक्ट होत आहे. हे फेस्टिवल आयसर पुणे म्हणजेच इंडियन इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ सायन्स एज्युकेशन अँड रिसर्च ह्या इन्स्टिट्यूटमध्ये होत आहे. आणि फन फॅक्ट की हे इन्स्टिट्यूट माझं ड्रीम इन्स्टिट्यूट आहे आणि अशा दिवशी मला माझं ड्रीम इन्स्टिट्यूट एक्सप्लोअर करायला भेटणार आहे, हे माझ्यासाठी खूप मोठी गोष्ट आहे. आणि आजची दी मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट अँड दी मोस्ट एक्साइटिंग गोष्ट ही आहे की आज आम्ही भेटणार आहोत इंडियाच्या न्यूएस्ट स्पेस हिरोला शुभांशु शुक्ला यांना.
Keynote session starting for the day and we will be welcoming Shubhanshu Shukla. So let me just briefly introduce him to you. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla is a distinguished Indian Air Force officer, test pilot and ISRO astronaut celebrated for making history in June 2025 as the first Indian to visit International Space Station ISS during Axiom Mission 4. As mission pilot for this 14-day scientific expedition abroad, the SpaceX Crew Dragon, he conducted pioneering experiments and marked India's proud return to human space flight since Rakesh Sharma in 1984. Commissioned into the IAF in 2006 and rising to the group captain in 2024, he has logged over 2,000 flight hours across fighter jets like Sukhoi 30, MKI and MiG-29, specializing in combat and experimental test piloting. Known not just for his skill and courage, but also for his dedication, humility and inspiring leadership, he continues to motivate India's youth towards careers in science, technology and space exploration, embodying the nation's vision for 2040 moon mission and 2047 developed national goal. Mr. Varun Agarwal, founder FAST, to felicitate Shubhanshu Shukla.
कशी हात पुढे. See, before I start my presentation, most of you are kids and even the adults, you know, since the topic is about space, I think all of you will also become kids. So I want to see the energy or hear the energy in this hall and I will ask you how is the Josh, okay? Yes, sir. And the entire Pune should hear you. Promise? Yes. Promise? Yes. So Pune, how's the Josh? Yes, sir. एक और बार. How's the Josh? Yes, sir. Fantastic. Now the rest of the Pune is going to be jealous of you that you are sitting here and listening to this. Let me start with this. I do not have a lot of time at hand. I will have to leave by 7. But in this short time, I would like to share with you my journey. Not my journey, our journey. Journey of India to orbit in 2025. It took us 41 years and 3 months before we could send somebody from here to space again. But I am very happy and very confident to tell you कि इस बार, now the next time, it will not take us as much time. और इस बार we are going to launch someone from India on an Indian rocket in an Indian capsule, send them to space and bring them back. So it is going to be monumental for us. तो चलिए अगले आधे घंटे में 30 मिनट्स में आई वुड शेयर माई जर्नी विद यू. आई विल टेक यू टू स्पेस विद मी. मैं आपको अपने साथ स्पेस लेके चलता हूँ, आपको वहाँ के कुछ वीडियोस दिखाता हूँ, कुछ फोटोज दिखाता हूँ. एंड आई वुड होप दैट यू वुड कैरी दिस बैक विद यू एंड सी, यू नो, देयर वाज नॉट अ लॉन्ग टाइम अगो बिफोर दिस मिशन जब मैं भी आप लोगों की तरह ही चेयर्स पे या ऐसे ग्राउंड पे बैठ के लेक्चर सुन रहा था. और आज मैं आपको लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ और कल आपकी बारी है. आप खड़े होके वहाँ से यहाँ खड़े होके आप बात करेंगे और आप लेक्चर देंगे. तो आप इस पूरे प्रेजेंटेशन को उसी भावना से सुनिए. वॉच इट विद दैट फीलिंग दैट वन डे यू आर गोइंग टू बी स्टैंडिंग हियर एंड टॉकिंग अबाउट योर जर्नी टू किड्स ऑफ योर जनरेशन. ओके, व्हाट इज द पर्पस? सो आई वुड से व्हेन यू गो टू स्पेस एवरीथिंग फॉर यू चेंजेस. सुबह उठ के एप्पल, it is possible for you to go to the bathroom or toilet upside down in space. You don't have to be upright. Everything changes and it becomes difficult, and when things become difficult, your environment changes, you have to find solutions. Something very similar like what happens with you in your exams, right? When you see the question paper, आप सब भूल जाते हैं, सारी तैयारी चली जाती है बाहर कि ये तो नहीं पढ़ा था. It is very powerful. The ignition, when it happens, it, you know, you are not directly attached to the structure. आप एक सीट पे बैठे हैं जो कि isolated है through various mechanisms, but it vibrates with such a force that every bone in your body is shaking at that point of time. And from there, from being at 0 kilometers per hour on the launch pad, you accelerate to 28,500 kilometers per hour in about 8.5 minutes. I had never seen anything like that before. It was phenomenal. It was amazing. And what happens when you do that? Your body undergoes a lot of changes, a lot of force it has to experience, which I will show to you in a while, you know, in the next slide. And you train for that. So in the space flight, what happens? That you are experiencing force through your chest. So you can't breathe. Your lungs, they get compressed. So you have to breathe through your stomach. आपको अपने stomach से you have to breathe. So you can only exhale. You cannot inhale. And I will show you. This is a practice training run, not the actual flight video. But I'll show you only one, which is the GZ, which you experience in space flight. So I don't think we have a volume, but you would see my face. My cheeks will start going back because of the force that is going to be on my body. And every once in a while, आप देख रहे हैं कि मेरा मुंह खुल रहा है. I'm just trying to exhale. I cannot breathe in. Breathing happens as a passive exercise. Unfortunately, we don't have audio on this. So this is what happens when you're sitting in the space capsule, because G force is on your chest. You saw. So what happens in both of these things is the second thing, the second, you know, maneuver that you saw that I was doing उसमें से सारा खून, सारा ब्लड जो है आपके सर से, it comes down to your legs because of the force. So if you're not careful, you will become unconscious in some time. And space flight में the kind of G that you experience for a long time, it is not possible for your body to experience that or sustain that. इसीलिए your seats are reclined, you are lying down and you experience the G through your chest. I'm just highlighting this fact to picking up one aspect of this space flight to highlight how complex it is. It is challenging, it is difficult, and a lot of engineering and training goes into make it happen. Because for the first time you are essentially swimming in air. You're not, there is no effort required. Movement is fluid. But it is very disorienting. Right now when we are standing here or you are sitting here on the chairs or on ground, this is up, this is down, left, right, we know very well. Our body tells us. Even if I close my eyes, I know this is up because I am standing upright. There is no such requirement in space. You can be like this or this, you wouldn't know. So there is no up, down, left, right. Directions lose meaning. You don't understand it. And also the concept of space itself changes. This is a three-dimensional hall hai, right? But we don't really use the three dimensions. All of us are sitting on floors or standing on ground. I am also standing here. Nobody is hanging onto this wall, tent walls. Nobody is hanging by ceiling here. It is not possible. But in space, it is possible. But your mind doesn't know that. आपको पता नहीं है आप जब जाते हैं तो मुझे याद है my first day in space, I had to go across a module. एक module था उसके through I had to go, and there was a NASA astronaut who was conducting an experiment right in the center of the module. So she took up the entire space, and I had to cross the module and go the other side. But I couldn't think of any way, so I sat down. I was waiting, and then this other astronaut, she comes to me and she says, "Shooks, what are you doing?" And I tell her, I need to go the other side. And she says, "Why don't you go?" And I say, "Look at her, she's right in the way." And this other astronaut, she starts laughing. She holds my hand, she takes me to the ceiling and tells me, "Walk here." And that is the first time I realized that something changed in my mind, that this is possible. And then I decided that I will dedicate one day to one wall. So today I will walk on ceiling the entire day. Tomorrow I will walk on this right wall. Tomorrow I will walk on this left wall. But there is a shift that is required in your mind to understand that this is possible because the environment is new. You don't know this. Commander Dr. Peggy Whitson, who is the most experienced American astronaut there is, male or female. She has spent 695 days in space. Actually, we used to joke with her that she breaks the record of some of the satellites that were launched by NASA. That is the kind of record she has. But here she is trying to move this bag. This is a huge bag. It is called CTB 10.0, and you would look at the size. This bag is bigger than her, and you would realize how carefully she is moving this. I will let you guess what is inside this bag. This is extremely heavy bag. Just have a look at this.
Okay.
But she is able to hold it with one hand and move it.
How small, no, very large bags. You have to be very careful though, because you have to control the mass. So you don't want it too fast, because it can get away from you. What is it that we have in this bag? Anyway, incredibly large.
See how heavy the bag was? That is very interesting because all of this is possible to be done. And we also think when we are in space, all the astronauts, we sit together, we figure out ways of what would be interesting to show this phenomena, because everything changes. The physical processes that we see on Earth, they change, they lose their meaning in the environment of microgravity. You don't use your muscle in space, there is no load. Right now, even while sitting on chairs, you are using your muscles to oppose the force of gravity. But in space, it is effortless. And as a result of that, meditation is. So, for our muscle mass, I think we need to thank gravity. Yellow flames and then becomes a steady stream, all type of colors you see. Yellow, orange, blue, red, purple, everything. But when you're coming back, the G forces start coming back. You start feeling the G again. This time, it is very different. because when you were going, you were already used to 1G and you were building up on that. This time you were used to microgravity. So any G feels very heavy. I was training my neck to look at the window at the fireball, and I remember lot of strain on my neck, and I thought that it is enough. I'll rest back now because otherwise I would injure myself. It must be 2 or 3 Gs. I laid back. I looked at the display. The display was reading 0.3 G, not even 1. That is the kind of difference that happens when you open your eyelids. Your eyelids feel heavy. You feel them. That the weight is felt. That is the shift in perception that happens. And because of all these reasons, when you come back, everything has changed. You cannot walk. I was feeling quite okay, but when I came back, I was not able to walk because my body had forgotten, my mind had forgotten how much effort it takes for you to stop yourself from falling. This is a video of me about 4.5 hours after splashdown. So I'm in much better condition as compared to at the time of splashdown. But look at how difficult it is for me to do just a simple straight walk. What has happened is your environment has changed, your body has forgotten, your mind has forgotten, and over a period of time you build up. You build up back to your normal. It took me about 7 days before I was cleared for doing normal day-to-day activities without supervision. If you're staying longer in space, it will take you longer. But that is the degradation that teaches you a lot of what needs to be done to prepare the crew, to keep them there, and then to bring them back safely. And I'm so happy that I can tell you that this was not just a one-off mission. It was the beginning of the human space program of our country. We have missions like Gaganyaan, in which an astronaut will go to space and come back. We also have the space station program, which would require continuous presence. People would be going, coming back every 6 months, and it will become a full-fledged program. We'll also have eventual landing on the moon by 2040. And who knows, one amongst you who is sitting there listening to me may be the first boy or girl from India to set foot on the moon. Space station, land on the moon, and we also have decided that it is our dream or our goal to be a developed nation by 2047. My point or my question to all of you who are sitting here is this: who do you think is going to make it happen? Is it someone else's job? Or is it our job? It is my job. And if there is one thing that I would like for all of you to take back home from this talk, from this lecture, it is this: it is my responsibility to take India to moon. It is my responsibility to make India a developed nation by 2047. Each and every one of you should feel that, should think like that. And the minute that happens, I promise you, we will reach there much before the date that we have specified. Okay, one last thing before I finish, and this is the most asked question that I get. ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है? I think this question was asked to Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma when he went in 1984. And I know I cannot have better lines than what he said. But I can show you. So I will show you how India looks from space. And I will let you decide. Can we, switch off these lights? Is it possible? Okay, so the green glow that you see, the curvature that you see, this is Earth. And the green glow is because of the oxygen atoms in the upper atmosphere. And on the top you will see stars, and the bottom is entire Earth. It is a night pass. We are coming from southwest to northeast. We will cross India. You will see Maldives, and then you will see India. You will also see bright purple flashes on the screen. These are thunderstorms, lightning that is happening on ground. And I will also point out various cities, like Bangalore. We will see Bangalore. We will see Hyderabad. What else? We will see Pune as well in distance. Okay. So once we have crossed the India, you will see Himalayas, and at the end of the video, you will see how sunrise looks from orbit. So I played the video. Watch it. See these flashes? These are thunderstorms happening on Earth. This is India emerging. And the brightest city that you see, this is Bangalore. And you see Hyderabad, Pune on the left. And look at the dance of these thunderstorms or the bright lightning that you see.
Wow.
And that blue glow, that is the sunrise. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
And imagine you have the possibility of seeing this side 16 times in 24 hours. 16 times a day. That is fantastic. Because sky was never the limit, not for me, not for you, and not for Bharat. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Standing.
Guys, come in center. I'll take a selfie from stage, okay?
Okay.
Come, come.
अरे यार, हो गया था सेल्फी के साथ